So I'm coming to the end of my first year at uni, with my many deadlines that are stressing me constantly. And I thought that a fitting way to round out my first year of living in halls and going to uni was to give some advice and life hacks on how to survive, because it is all about survival. Tips on living in halls. Make new friends. How, you ask? Well, if you're over 18 in the UK, with alcohol. It's a great way to socialise if you're socially anxious like myself. It's an interest that most people share, and you won't remember your shame if you drink enough. Drinking games, familiarise yourself, because it's really awkward being the one that has to have the rules explained to them. I recommend knowing most of the rules to Ring of Fire or King's Cup or whatever it's called where you are. Make use of the small space. You are probably going to have a very small amount of room if you live in halls. So keep things tidy in general, or you'll have even less living space. Bookshelves don't have to be just used for books. Drawers don't always have to be used for clothes. Underneath the bed isn't just for monsters and insects. Another recommendation is not bringing everything you want in your room to begin with. See if you have enough room and then bring in more throughout the year. Get a hobby to stop from thinking about the impending doom of adulthood. Huh. Yeah, that's the thing. I do this and read and game and write. All of which make me avoid thinking about uni work at all. Don't get too many hobbies then. Get a plant that you can keep alive because you're dying on the inside. My succulent is thriving. Best to keep them near the window because your brick walls seem to suck away all the sunlight. Try not to bother your neighbours too much. Or you might end up with lots of passive-aggressive post-it notes everywhere. No one wants that. Keep your noise down unless you warn them about having people over. Clean up after yourself in the kitchen. I follow this rule by using the kitchen the minimum amount. I eat a lot of ramen now. Tips for going out. Learn how to pre-drink. Club drinks are expensive. Don't even bother, they fill them up with so much ice that it's not even worth it. Your union might be a great choice for going out, if you even have a union, or if it even has a club venue. Not all unions are meant for hard nights of drinking. If your union is pretty chill, great. Clubs aren't for everyone. Most nights I prefer just to have a night in. Understand the fact that finding a good club is hard. A lot of clubs aren't great, and you keep going to them because you don't know any better. Search for a good club. There will be one. Don't sell for the one that has glass all over the floor at 1 AM. We have that club. I don't go anymore because I found a good one. Girls, wear the flats, or have a bag and get fold-up shoes. My feet have died on nights out in heels, so don't do it or have a backup plan. I have a pair of these and I have yet to put them to use, but I think I'd really appreciate it. You can see I really care about them because I can only find one. These would be so useful. If I could find the other one, maybe I'd use them. Don't use the coat check if you're leaving the club when it closes. I regret that so much, I probably waited an extra 20 minutes for a jacket. Carry it or drink enough to have an alcohol jacket. Tips for actual uni. Try making friends with people in your lecture so you'll have someone to sit with. Plus, if you miss important information, they'll hopefully know. I suggest making multiple friends in your lectures so you have backups. Preferably in different friend groups, because if one friend group doesn't decide to go, maybe another friend group will decide to go. You're welcome. Because you might make friends with someone like me, and I'm useless. Sorry on behalf of all people like me. We're sorry that we can never give you help when you need it. Please still be our friends. Find out the hours of your library, because I like going to the library late, and luckily my library stays open until midnight and 2 at exam season. It's great at that time because it's quiet enough that no one can bother you. Finding out the hours will help you plan when best suits your style of studying. Try not to procrastinate. I know I'm being very hypocritical because I'm literally doing this when my deadlines are right around the corner. But even doing a little bit at the right time means that you have less to cram in when you're doing everything at the last minute. You have 9 weeks work and you did 2 weeks when you were supposed to, so you only have 7 weeks to cram in. Figure out which lectures are important. Let's be honest, you're gonna miss classes. We all know that I miss a lot of my classes, but I know which classes I really should be going to and ones that I can miss. Not all lectures are created equal. Don't put off the work you don't like. I have heard stories of almost entire classes failing one module on my course because everyone hates it. None of them did the work because it was awful. I had a module like that in my first semester. I hated the lecturer and the material, but it was difficult for me, so I attended the classes. And my results for that class were better than my results for my programming class, which I actually quite enjoy. I think my first year of uni went reasonably well. The best I can really ask for is that I didn't get kicked out, which hasn't happened yet, but not all my deadlines have passed. But I don't have any exams this semester, so who's really winning? I'm glad that I spent my first year in halls as well, because I met my flatmates that I'm living with next year here, but I'm so glad to be living in an actual flat next year where I'll have a glorious double bed. It'll be the first time in my life that I have a double bed. Even though I've given you advice, it's great to make your own mistakes. We all have different first years. Just hope that your mistakes aren't that drastic, like don't get arrested or kicked out of uni. Bye.